Hello Raindrops, welcome to Government Minute, minutes that matter. I'm Mr. A. Before we begin, let's do those big three. Like and share this video, subscribe to this channel, and click on that notification bell so you know when our videos come out. As always, this video is dedicated to the glory of God who blessed this land. Well, we finally reached the point where we're going to talk about the Declaration of Independence. The Declaration of Independence, of course, the cornerstone of our nation, the thought, the ideals of our nation, why we needed to be free, why the British government was oppressive. The Declaration of Independence the idea of it began with the Second Continental Congress. In June of 1776, the Second Continental Congress appointed Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, Ben Franklin, Roger Sherman, and Robert Livingston to come up with a Declaration of Independence, to write a draft Declaration of Independence. Jefferson wrote the first draft. It was revised, edited, added to, deleted, and sent to Congress for review. And of course, on July 4th, 1776, the Declaration of Independence was adopted by the Second Continental Congress, and the rest, as they say, is history. If you don't have a copy, I urge you to get one. You can pick up little books like this on Amazon. You can maybe contact your congressman or senator's office, see if they have any. You can always go online and just read it directly from the text online, the National Archives, or many other places. I think the best way to talk about the Declaration is to go over the Declaration. Obviously, this is Government Minute, not Government Hour, and so this will have to be a multi-part exercise in going over the Declaration of Independence. But if you're game, I am. So, with that, let's start reading the Declaration of Independence. Fair warning, we are not going to read the entire text. We will read a lot of the key parts. I will make some commentary, and then we will get through the whole thing in a matter of a couple of videos. July 4th, 1776, the unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. When, in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. Basically, this is a monumental thing. Basically, this is a huge thing. And when it comes to this, when it comes to the point we have to do this, we owe the rest of the world our reasons. Why are we doing this? Not only for our individual case, but for the ideals of mankind in general. Continuing with the Declaration. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Truths that are self-evident. Colonists did with this. They reached across the Atlantic and slapped the king in the face. These are when they said that all men are created equal. There, you can't deny them. King, self-evident. Even a fool could recognize king and his court and his people and his favored. And all. No, all men are created equal. Now I know what you're thinking. Some of you might be thinking, what about women? What about minorities? What about slaves? Obviously, this is not perfect. Obviously, the time we had some improvement to do. We had some improvements we needed to make. But just like a resolution, a personal resolution, when you write it down as a goal, that's what our goal is. My goal is to lose 20 pounds. Okay, I write it down to make it real. Okay, and then you work toward it. Okay, you lose a few pounds and you gain a few. You lose a few and gain a few, but you keep working toward it. They talk about it in the Constitution where they say in order to form a more perfect union, because it wasn't perfect. Okay. They are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Your Creator, no matter whether you call him God, or Yahweh, or Mother Nature, or the primordial ooze that became you, whoever or whatever your Creator was, that's where your rights come from. Your rights come from your Creator. And it talks about unalienable rights, rights that aren't just able to be taken away on a whim. And among the rights, in other words, there are so many rights your Creator gave you. Among them, they mentioned the three biggest: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. There are more rights your Creator gave you, but those are the big three. Continuing on, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men. I want to stop there. That is why government exists, to secure the rights your Creator gave you. It says so right here in the Declaration of Independence. That's why governments are instituted, to secure the rights your Creator gave you. Continuing, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. In other words, getting their just powers, in other words, fair powers, from the okay or the approval of those being governed. Continuing, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Okay, when government stops protecting the rights your Creator gave you, when government becomes destructive of that goal, of that job, it is the right of the people to get rid of that power, to get rid of that government, and start a new one that will protect those rights their Creator gave them, the Creator gave you, that will come up with a form and a process by which government will do that. That is what they're charged with. That is what they need to do. Continuing on. Prudence, indeed, will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes. And accordingly, all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. So what they say here is that you don't change your government just because you woke up on the wrong side of the bed. You don't change your government for an idea that's here today, gone tomorrow. It has to be serious. It has to be long-lasting. The abuses, the denial of the rights your Creator gave you have to be so serious as to upset or upend the entire apple cart. And so this is not something we do lightly, is what our founding fathers are saying. It's not something we do because of something that's fashionable today but will be out of fashion tomorrow, like those bell bottoms you used to wear. Thanks so much for joining us today. We will continue with the Declaration of Independence in our next video. This is Mr. A reminding you that we, the people, are the government. I hope you paid attention because there will be a test at the next election. We'll see you next time.